Folks, welcome to Handmade by Shirley. I've come on today to do the Team JazzleDazzle blog hop, video hop even. And this month of February, we're doing masking. So I've come on and I've got my stamp set here that I'm going to use, Measure of Love, and I'm going to do some masking with it. And then I'm going to put it together to make it into a nice little card. So let's get started. So the Measure of Love is in the annual catalogue. You'll see here on page 32, and it gives you a few wee ideas what to do. I like baking, and I've got a few people that I know would like perhaps birthday cards made with this particular stamp set, so hence why I got it. So I've been playing about with a few wee sort of techniques this morning, and I've hopefully come up with something that will work. So as I say, these are some of the things I've just been playing about with, and I managed to get the bowl as if it was behind the scales. So we're doing something similar, and also playing about with the kind of flowers that are the two-step flowers, and most of the things actually in this stamp set are two steps. So you stamp that image, for instance, and then you can fill it in with the filled in area, and the same with the bowl. Yep, and that was the flowers, as I said, and I made a bit of a wee background with that as well. So anyway, let's get started. So I have stamped already onto my piece of card the scales, and I've just made a mask. I've not made another one. I have been using this one to, as I say, play about beforehand. I'm just going to use this again because there's no point in making another one really. So what I'm going to do now though is I'm going to use my Memento ink, and well, for some of them I'm going to be using blends as well to colour in too. But for the outside of my bowl, I'm going to use black Memento ink. So if I can find a couple of blocks that are vacant now, just put that away. Right, so pop that onto there, and as I say, I'm going to use Memento just to do the outline. So I'm going to pop, let's just make sure we've got that inked up. So I'm going to pop that on the top of the scales, just as if it's naturally propped there in real life. Okay, and then I'm going to do the infill of the bowl with this bit here, and it's got, you'll see it's got a line where the heart infill will go as well. So I'm going to do this in a lovely bright colour of real red, because I want this to be quite a bright cheery card, but not overly. So just ink that up, and then what we want to do is just hover over the top where we think, as near as you can to the, hopefully I'll get this right. And there we go, it's a wee bit out there, but that wasn't too bad. Then I'm going to add what I'd class as, well, it could be anything. I suppose it could be fruit, it could be green leaves, it could be anything. So I'm just going to put in, make that green. I'm going to say that's lettuce leaves. So I'm just going to change that on the block. I'm going to use Granny Apple of that. Put that away just now. And then just line it up. Hold for a few seconds. There we go. And then I'm going to put these leaves, wherever they are, just above as well, like so. There we go. I'll pop my granny apple green away, and I'm now going to use Bumblebee for the hearts. That's the two-step part of the hearts. When I find the hearts, wherever I've put them. Here we go. So I just thought this was a nice wee set to get that's a wee bit different. I like to try and get sets that not everybody has. And I do have a few friends that I know would appreciate a card that was made that had the theme of baking. So just hover over the top of these hearts, and then when you feel happy, pop it in place. Like so. There we go. I'm just going to keep my mask on just now. See, I've just went and smudged that there, but you can get the sort of gist of it's a bit hovering there, so perhaps I should have brought the mask down very slightly just so I could see where I was putting that, but that's okay. I'm just going to do a few wee bits round about at the sides, so I'm just going to keep that on. And I'm going to do another bowl at the side. And you could do the cupcakes. There's some lovely cupcakes there. You could do that if you wanted. I said I wasn't going to do that, but now I'm thinking I might do that. Just add something else. So let's do that. We'll use the memento again. So just get the ink on. You're quite happy you've got sufficient on. So I'm just going to pop them down here at the bottom so that they don't look like they're hovering in the air. So just pop them down in line with the scales. There we go. Yep, that should have worked. Yep, so that looks like it's got they're in behind the scales. So I could do that on the opposite side as well, just to fill that in and try and hide that mark a bit. There we go. So it looks like they're behind the scales. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add a sentiment, and there's quite a few nice sentiments. Our friendship tips the scale. Sweet friend, love you more, you more than measure up, which is really nice too. So I think our friendship tips the scale is the one that I'm going to go for this time. So just find a lock. There we go. I think I'll just pop this over up the top here, just so it's all on the same card. So I'm going to actually do that in red, real red again. So just get that round the right way, and I'll just ink it up, and I'll just try and keep this line as my guide for the card being straight, and down my sentiment, and I just want to hold it for a few seconds just so that it adheres to the card below and gives us a good, nice, clean stamp. So if we take that off, you can now see that the cupcakes look as if they're behind the scales because I masked that off so that when you stamp down, the image wouldn't come over because you wouldn't want that, it just wouldn't look real. So it looks much more realistic, the fact that I've put that on. So now I'm going to colour in some of the cupcakes and the scales as well. So I'm just going to use a mixture of stamping blends and some watercolour pencils, and then we can pop the card together. So nothing too fancy or anything like that. Something quite simple. Right, so get my blends over. Right, so I'm going to keep this on just now because it might be quite good for remembering I don't go over there. Or do I? No, actually, I think I can take it off now and we can see what that mask did. So when you put that over and you stamped to the side, it looks like when you take it off, they're behind the scales. And this one, I'm going to have to just colour that in so it doesn't look like it's hovering, but really what I wanted to show was, you know, it could go over there without it going over the line, but I haven't quite managed that, but you get the gist. So take that off now. I also did want a wee mask with the flowers as well, the cupcakes as well, so you know that's something else you could do. So you cut out the mask for the cupcakes and you can stamp them round each other, and it looks like some will be behind as well. So that's another idea. But I decided just to do the scales. So right, so I'm just going to colour this in, and as I say, I'm going to use a mixture of the Stampin' Up blends and Stampin' Up watercolour pencils. I'm not going to put water on the watercolour pencils, I'm just going to use them as a pencil. So I've got some nice Flirty Flamingo, which I'm going to use for some of the icing on the cupcakes. So just go around these. I'll just and then I'm going to get what colour we'll get next. I'm going to use the Daffodil Delight for the scales. Go on to the scales first. I was going to do all the cupcakes, but I think I'll do the scales first because they're probably the biggest part. Oh, and I've still got the dial for the scales to do. There's a wee dial that fits into the middle. So. just carefully go around with your blends, pencils, whatever you decide to use. Or you could do some watercolor type thing, but I think that's, for me personally, for this sort of project, that's a bit of a faff. But if you do decide to reciprocate something like this, you know it's entirely up to you. So that's that done. I'll just carry on doing the cases of the cupcakes. Managed to cover up that a little bit, that mark that was there. And if I knew how, I would speed this up so you weren't having to watch me colouring in. One of these days I'll work that out. But at the moment I haven't worked that out. So until then, you're going to have to watch me colour. Right, so there we go, that looks nice. So I'm then going to do some more colouring. So I've got some light black, no, we're not using that one. I want some light purple posy, or no, that's fresh freesia actually. So we'll do that, we'll do a bit of fresh freesia. We'll do a wee bit here, we'll just try and hide that yellow mark that I splodged onto it. Might do another one of these up here with the same colour. There we go. And I've got some light magenta madness, which is a fab colour. I'll do that as well. There we go. Now I'm going to see if I can rectify this bowl a bit. I'll get some real red. And is that real red? Yep. I don't know if this is going to work, but we'll get some here and we'll just pop a wee bit down there so it doesn't look like it's flying in the air. We'll just touch these bits up as well so we've got a complete colour going on. Go around there a little bit. That's better. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. And now what I want to do is finish off by just putting the little dial here, which goes onto the scales. So just get that. Just get a small block, and there's the wee dial there. So I think red would be a good colour to use, but we don't have to use red. We could use green. Let's use green instead. So just use Granny Apple Green, and then this is where you hover over the dot, make sure the dot's inside the circle. You can do it anywhere you like. You could have it that way, which I might do just for a change. And then once you've got it in place, pop it down. And there you go. Yeah, that's cool. And then there is a little tiny flower here, I've noticed. Here you've got a tiny little flower and some leaves. So you could pop that on if you wanted just a bit of decoration, just to fill in some of the pieces behind. So take that one off, pop this on, and I think what colour could I use? So I might use some of the Blackberry Bliss, but I think I'm going to stamp it off. Just find a bit of scrap paper here. Oh dear, sorry folks. So we're just going to try it first, just to see what it's like, and then just to see what it's like stamped the second time off. I think I'll just leave it as the darker colour. So I'm just going to put in a couple of wee bits on the edge here, like that, and another wee bit down here, I think. Off camera, sorry people. Another one maybe just there, and a one I think on the side, just there. Yeah, and then that just makes it, I've used most of the stamps that were in that set. So I think that's me done. I just need to put my card together now. So my card base is basic white, and it's 5 by 5, so 5 inches squared. I've got a piece from the, let me think, sorry, I've got a piece of cardstock from the Daffodil Afternoon 12 by 12 Designer Series paper, and I'm using this checked side. And then I've got this piece that I stamped on basic white card. I actually have a couple of pieces that I did, because that's a two-way stamp, so you stamp one of them first. So I stamped the yellow, which was the leaf, and then I stamped the sort of foliage, the floral part after it in the Blackberry Bliss. So it's like that's a two-step stamp, as a lot of these are in this set. So I just want to see, maybe that colour would be a wee bit nicer. And I was just going to pop it on like that. Or let's have a look. Let's try this piece here. That might be a bit better because it's, or will we go this way? Can't decide. Let's see, you've got a thinner piece here. So this was something I did off camera because I wasn't really confident enough to do a two-step thing on camera. So that's what I did off camera. I quite like the way that that's going across there. Let's see, maybe I could do that with this. Just bear with. So that's probably about 2. I'll give you the measurements shortly. Let's just see what that looks like. That kind of going off the side. I'm not sure about that. I think I like the darker one. Let's try the darker one. Yep, I think I'm going to go with the darker one. So I'm just going to pop a little bit round the edge of this as well, because I need it to stand out slightly more, and I just feel it isn't standing out very well. So I'm thinking I'm just going to take a little bit of the Blackberry Bliss. I've just got an ink spot. I'm just going to take a little bit of that and just swipe it down the side. I don't want it to come over too much, I just want to get that wee bit of definition and take away from the starkness of the white. So it's just a very thin swipe down. That's better, I think. Yeah, it just gives it a bit of definition. Might do this on here as well. So just at the very edge, so you're swiping your ink pad or ink spot down the way, all the way round, just to give it that outline definition from the starkness of the white card. There, that's fine, that will do absolutely fine. So let's just pop this together. So as I say, the base card was 5 inches squared. This one, Daffodil Afternoon, was 4 and, oh jings, I'm on the wrong bit, was 4.5, no, sorry, that's wrong, it was 4 and, yes, it was 4 and 3/4, I should say. And then we had this piece, which is 2.5 by 4, so 2.5 by 4, and this piece that I've stamped onto is just under 3 by 4.5. Okay, so we're just going to pop this together, and we're just going to pop it together with white glue. So just leave it on the back of there, and just try and pop that round with a border of white all the way round. There we go. And then this one I want to put up on to with some dimensionals. So we'll put this bit down with glue as well. More. I think I need some more of this. That's running out. So I get this one. I want to kind of put there. I think. Actually. And then this one I'm going to put on some dimensionals. So I've got some dimensionals here that are ready to be used. I thought I'd cut these up. Just put one in the middle and 2 at the bottom and the top, and then that will hold the middle part up so that it doesn't collapse in the middle. And off, yep. And then just going to kind of bring that in slightly and just put that down over there like so. I've got a couple of gems I want to add. I haven't done an insert today, but there's various lovely wording in that stamp set that you could use. Let's see what I've got in here that I can use. stamping ones. No, I'm just going to leave it like that. So that's my project for this month's Team JazzleDazzle video hop. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you liked the card I've made and the set that I've used, and I hope that you'll check out the other people who are participating in the blog hop, the video hop, sorry, down below in the description box. There'll be their links to their videos. So thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you for March's video hop. Bye for now.